All right, there we go. Let me turn on my camera. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to have you guys here today. I am just making sure that all my windows are up so that I can chat with you guys and we can get into this content today. All right, cool. I believe we are good to go. In the chat, can you guys let me know if you see my screen? It should say 5 components of a highly profitable email funnel. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Donna. Wonderful. All right. Welcome. I'm excited to have you guys here today. If you are watching this live, because we are going to send out a replay here. If you're watching this live, I want you to know the chat is here for you. It's here for you to ask questions. It's here for you to do whatever you need to do during our time together today, okay? I want this to be impactful. I want you to actually leave with a course of action today. And I want you to get help if you need help. So use that chat box, okay? If you're watching this on the replay, thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this and hang out with me. I'm excited that you are here. So let's go ahead and dive in. So this is the 5 components of a highly profitable email funnel webinar. These strategies that I'm teaching you guys today don't require you to be a salesy sleazeball because nobody wants that, right? We are not here to build a business that makes us covered in slime. We don't want it. So what I'm going to be teaching today is a way to sell through a funnel that is automated, that has a habit-based component in it, so that you're not pitching to someone who, number one, doesn't have the pain point that your program solves, and number two, may have the pain point, but doesn't want to solve the pain point, right? There has to be that motivator. You have to actually want to do something about your pain point. Some people just want to live in their pain points, and that's okay. They're not ready for the program yet, so you're not going to pitch to them, okay? And it'll make it so that you don't feel slimy and sleazy. We don't want that. Today's masterclass is brought to you by the Lead Generation Lab. I will be sharing more about the lab a little bit later on today. I'm going to have an amazing bonus for you guys if you decide to join us. So I'll be sharing about that here in a little bit. There's one thing I know about you, it's that you want it all. And I am happy that you are here because we can have it all, whatever that looks like for us. We can have a highly profitable business. We can sell in a way that we want to sell. We can run our business in whatever way that we want to run our business. We can also have a thriving home life. We can have an amazing partnership. We can have an amazing parenting child situation. We can do those things that we want to do in our businesses and in our lives. We just have to figure out what that looks like for us. And it is a constant ebb and flow. And so we're constantly trying to figure that out, what that looks like for us. But we can do it. We can have it all. And that's what makes me very excited. So which one are you? I want to know from you guys in the chat, which one are you? Are you a nap time hustler? Are you a side hustler? Do you work in the mom cracks of your day? That's when I work. Are you an empty nester, second career, weekend warrior, stay-at-home mom? Are you the primary breadwinner? Whenever you guys see these elephants, what this means is I want you to engage. Elephants are my spirit animal. They're fiercely loyal. They're amazing. They have really crazy memories, and that's me. I love elephants. So anytime you see an elephant on the slide, it's because I'm asking you a question, and I want you to put your responses in the chat. All right. Sharon says, kiddo, sleep time hustler. Sabrina says, empty nester, second career. Donna says, stay-at-home mom. Amazing, amazing. Heather says, stay-at-home mom. Excellent, excellent. Mom cracks, wife cracks. I love it, Holly. Okay, cool. Side hustler, mom cracks, stay-at-home mom. Hey, Jill, nice to see you. Awesome. All right, guys, super cool. This is my amazing family. That little lady in the polka dot dress, that's Nora. She is 3.5 almost. She's currently sleeping, nap time hustler, above me right now. The little guy there on the right, that's my Camden. He will be 8 here in August. He is a Taekwondo ninja. He's a baseball player. He loves to be outside. He's happiest when his feet are in the water. And that studly man there with the beard, that's my husband. His name is Tier. He's a pastor. He does a lot of social justice work, and we met in college, and that's super fun. And that's me in the white shirt. I'm Allison Hardy. I'll share a little bit more about my story here in a little bit. But first, let's talk about you. You're in the right place if you want to ditch the hustle, you want to ditch the grind, and you want to ditch those feast or famine months. So those months where you have really big months followed by months where you bring in hardly anything. That's you. You're in the right place. You're in the right place if you're tired of trading dollars for hours, because that's exhausting. You're in the right place if you're over the live launch model and you're only welcoming new clients, students, members into your programs a couple times of the year. Now, I want to caveat this. Obviously, I'm not a fan of live launches. This is a live launch. I'm sitting here talking to you live, right? But this is not the only way to run your business. There can be things, which I'm going to teach today, running in the background that welcome new people into your programs every single day. And you can have that along with a live launch model. Okay. So I'm not dishing. I'm not talking bad about the live launch model. It's a valid way of running your business. But if you're over it, if you're burnt out from it, if you hate live launching, you're in the right place. There's another way to run your business. You don't have to live launch if you don't want to. You're in the right place if you want to bring in scalable revenue month after month. You're in the right place if you want to remove the guessing from your business and you want to have a clear-cut system that produces results month after month after month. I want you to share this. If you guys are learning something today, I want you to go onto stories, photograph whatever it is that you learned, and share with your audience. I don't know about you, but when I look to invest with someone, I want to see like what they're doing to get better at what they do, right? I recently invested with a health coach. And the reason why I invested with her is because she is taking this training on intuitive eating and how that can help with hormone balance. And I was like, I think you're my girl. And I did that because she shared that on stories. So share with your audience how you are investing in your business, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's both. Tag me, Allison_Hardy_. Of course, I'd love to say thank you for watching. And I love to give you a little bit of love over there on the gram. It's my favorite place to hang out. Who am I? I'm Allison Hardy. I live outside of Washington, D.C. in Northern Virginia. I live in Arlington. I can see the Washington Monument, the pencil, from my backyard, which is kind of cool. I got started in business because I got laid off from my 9 to 5. I had the dream job. I did all the right things. I checked all the right boxes. I had the fancy job, and I was 25, and I was like, I've done it. I've got my thing. I figured it out. And I was teaching, this sounds really obscure, but it's a whole part of my story. I was teaching college level art. And I was like, this is it for me. This is what I'm doing when I'm 25 or until I'm 65. I've got it. And one day when I was 6 months pregnant with Camden, I got called into HR and I no longer had that job. And it got thrust into this huge like identity crisis. I realized a lot of my worth was wrapped up in that job. I was the first one in my family to ever go to college, much less graduate school, much less like teach at the college level. That's like not what we do. My family's very blue collar, which is fine and wonderful. And I love them for it. But I was definitely like really proud of that. And it no longer existed. And so whether or not there are laws and rules against this, nobody's going to hire a 6-month pregnant woman to start a new job. So I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? We were not in the position for me to not work. I was going to work up until the day I had Camden. And then I was going to take 5 weeks off because that's all we could afford and save up for. And then I was going to go back to work. So like getting laid off at 6 months, like that was a huge revenue gap right there. And we were in very much so fear. It was everywhere. It was all over us. So I had a super part-time personal training business. I would train my friends in our backyard on the weekends, and then we'd have mimosas after, and it was fabulous. And I was like, you know what? Maybe it's time. You know, I like knew in the back of my head that this teaching gig wasn't going to be it for me forever. Because I saw, you know, the environment I was in. I saw my colleagues who weren't married and didn't have kids, and I was like, something's not here. So I kind of viewed it as like my opportunity and started my business. I replaced my 9 to 5's income in the 3 months before Camden was born, which I was really proud of. And then it all came crashing down around me because I had a good hearty dose of postpartum depression. I was working like 16-hour days and I never really stopped. And, you know, as much as it went up, it all came crashing down around me because my business was all built on active work. I had no automation. I had no email funnels. And I was in a fear-based way of making decisions. So I remember I was sitting at coffee one day with one of my friends. I had like messy bun in my hair, no makeup on, yoga pants, and that's not me. That's like not how I show up in life. I like to like do my hair, I like to put makeup on. And my friend was like, she looked at me and she goes, "Girl, I don't know like what you need to do, but like something's not working." She was like, "This is not the Allison that I know. So you need to change something. Like you need to change something." And I was like, "I don't know what to change. I'm so like far in this, like I'm in it so much I couldn't see like the forest for the trees, right? Or the trees, forest for the trees." And she was like, "You just seem really lit up about the business stuff." She's like, "Can you like stop talking about fitness and just like help people build their businesses? Because that's what you're doing in your network marketing partnership. So like, can you just do that instead?" And I was like, "I don't know." She's like, "Well, just send an email out to your people and like see what they do." I sent the email out, and within like 3 days, I was fully booked with business coaching. And I was like, "Holy crap, maybe this is it." So shut down the personal training, full on into business. That's how I got to where I am. Heather says, "I used to live in Arlington, grew up in Reston." Oh, super cool, Heather. Holly, "I love DC and VA, and I'm in Chesapeake." I used to live in Chesapeake. Oh my gosh, 4 years ago, I moved from Chesapeake to Arlington, Holly, super cool. Donna, yes, you do live in Maryland. Nice to see you. So that's how I got to where I am, a little bit about my background. Oh, I'm also the creator of the Lead Generation Lab, like I told you guys I was going to talk about later today. Our Lead Generation Lab members have done some pretty awesome things that I'm super proud of and super lit up about. So I wanted to share a couple of those things with you. This Lead Generation Lab member launched her first ever digital product, and she originally thought it was going to be the Tripwire. She didn't have that whole system set up yet, so she just sold it as a one-off product and sold it as soon as she started promoting it, which was really amazing. This Lead Generation Lab member, she set up her first Tripwire, put it out into the world, and sold one as soon as she set it up. And you'll notice like a lot of these things are like action-based, like they did it, solve results, did it, solve results. So what we do inside the lab is meant to get you results. And then this member, I love this one. She sold something that she set up because of Lead Generation Lab overnight and woke up to a sale. And she was like, "It's the best thing ever." Such a cool message I woke up to that day. So she woke up to a sale. I woke up to that message. And that's awesome. It's great. Lois says, "You're in Norfolk." Lois, I was just in your neck of the woods 2 weeks ago. We were hanging out in Gloucester. So we went to the Portsmouth Children's Museum, and then we had lunch in Norfolk. Super cool, super cool. All right, today on the webinar, if you guys join me while we're live inside of the Lead Generation Lab, I have a webinar bonus. It's called the Instagram Bundle. It shows you how to get massive visibility through Instagram Reels, and then how to turn those new followers into clients by creating highly converting Instagram stories. So there's 3 products in this bundle. It's going to be yours if you decide to join the Lead Generation Lab while we are live today, and it's valued at $121. All right, email marketing. We all know email marketing is the thing we need to focus on, right? And if you don't, here are some facts to really help you understand. Email marketing has been around since 1971. I didn't know that. I had no idea until I did some research. It's our oldest form of digital marketing. And it's the form of digital marketing that has had the least amount of changes. To put this into perspective for us, those 2 platforms where most of us spend a lot of our time, Facebook and Instagram. Facebook has been around since 2004. Instagram has been around since 2010. So compared to 1971 versus 2004, 2010, email marketing is old when it comes to digital marketing. It's not going anywhere. And so it does not make sense for us as online entrepreneurs or people who want to have an online component of our businesses to not focus on it. Social media, 1% to 2% of your followers see your posts. So think about that in relation to how many followers you have. You don't own it, meaning you could get locked out of your account due to a fluke in the system. I have a friend who has an Instagram following of 80,000 people. And I think it was 2 months ago, she got locked out. Someone tried to hack her account. Instagram shut it down, but they locked her out of her account. And it took her a month to get back in. Now, if her entire business was built on those 80,000 Instagram followers, her business would be dead would have died. But thankfully, she has an email list. She's smart. She built her business in a sustainable way. And her 50,000 email subscriber list got her through that lockout. So she had a backup, but she didn't do anything to do that, right? Her Instagram account got hacked and it wasn't any of her fault, but it happened. So email just allows us to keep in contact with the people who want to hear from us the most. And you're building it and it's yours. Social media, you have to constantly learn new strategies and new ways of creating and new ways of new platforms. Not that that's bad. I'm not like anti-learning. I love strategy. I love creating. I love learning new things, but sometimes that's exhausting. So if you don't want to learn the new thing, you don't have space, you don't have time for it, it's not a way that you want to show up, you don't have to because you have email marketing to fall back on. Email, 20% of your subscribers open your emails. Now, I know that's a kind of a low number. It doesn't seem exactly exciting, but when it comes to 1 to 2% on social versus 20% on email, it's much more valuable use of your time. You own it. It doesn't go away unless they unsubscribe, which is fine. That's one of the points of email marketing is to weed out people who are not yours. Am I frozen? Holly says I am. Are you guys, am I frozen? You're back. Okay, cool. I'll get here. All right, cool. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Oh my gosh. I did a webinar one time and my slides were frozen for like 95% of it and nobody told me. And I was like, oh my gosh. So let me know if that happens, okay? Email marketing, you own it. Yes, and I was saying people can unsubscribe. Of course, that's part of the deal. But mostly if they want to hear from you, they're not going to. And if they unsubscribe, that's their deal, not a reflection of you. And yes, strategies do change. I'm not saying email marketing has not changed, but it does not change like overnight like Instagram and Facebook does. The algorithm does not change. And if it does, you usually get a lot of warnings so you can adjust and be proactive. Email wins every time, every single time. All right, let's dive into the 5 components of a highly profitable email funnel. Component number 1, creating an internet famous lead magnet. A lead magnet, some people call it a freemium, some people call it an opt-in. A lead magnet is that free thing you give out in exchange for someone's email address. So there's a form, they put their name, they put their email address in, and they hit submit. Examples of lead magnets: checklists, templates, swipe files, masterclasses, webinars. Hey, you are watching a lead magnet right now. Trainings, challenges, video series, live stream series, audio series, pop-up podcasts, boot camps, resets, and whatever else you want to throw in there. Okay, those are lead magnets. Error number 1 that I see time and time again when it comes to creating internet famous lead magnets: it gets pushed to the wayside, and because it's a free resource, it's not truly thought through. So your people don't really want it. They're like, no, I'm good. You know, they have like a lax way of looking at your lead magnet. Your lead magnet needs to be good. It needs to actually produce results for your people. Your lead magnets for paid traffic may differ from the lead magnet we offer up to our warm audiences. So here's an example of this, okay? My business, any live event I do, like right now, this webinar, I never run Facebook ads for it because usually it's a longer ask, right? This is going to be a live masterclass. It's going to be like an hour-ish long. So asking a cold person on the internet to sign up for my hour-long masterclass through a Facebook ad, if they've never met me before, not a good use of my resources. And it's just a harder ask for people if they don't know you. So my lead magnet for my warm audience, which is this webinar, is different from my lead magnet that I use for my cold audience. I run Facebook ads to a guide called the 34 Places to Promote Your Lead Magnet Guide. And then from there, send them through a nurture sequence. And then, hey, come to my live webinar. Because that know, that like, and that trust factor is there. It's an easier ask. Okay, so when thinking about your lead magnet, especially with paid traffic like Facebook or Instagram ads, think about like know, like, and trust factor and the ask that you are making. Is this something that someone who's never met me before is going to show up for? If that's a yes, then cool, do it. If it's a no, don't do it. Okay, so you might have to have like a suite of lead magnets that are for different people. Now, the second error I see is the exact opposite of the first error. The lead magnet is so thorough, it's so in depth that your people are stuck on it. You're giving them so much because you're trying to help them, right? So many of us have this deep passion to help people, and that's amazing. That's awesome. But if you overwhelm someone, they're not going to do the work, and they're definitely not going to buy from you. Or they're going to be so caught up in doing the work from the lead magnet that when you finally do get to the pitch portion of your funnel, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to buy it because I'm still doing this one thing. And how am I going to enroll in the program if I'm still doing this one thing, right? So your lead magnet could be overwhelming. And again, a confused mind does not buy. What is your ideal client avatar, ICA? If I use that term again, that's what I'm saying. What is your ICA's forward-facing problem? So us as the experts in the room, we usually know that the forward-facing problem that your people have isn't actually their problem. It's actually like this step or two deeper. But for your people, because they're not experts like you are, they don't know that. They don't know the deeper problem. They're so in this forward-facing problem that they can't get out of it, right? If they could get out of it, they would have already solved their problem, but they can't because they're stuck. So what's your forward-facing problem for your ideal client avatar? That's what your lead magnet does and should be. Your lead magnet should be viral within your community. So when you have people like enroll in your programs, they should be saying things like, oh my gosh, that free webinar you gave, or that guide you gave me, or that Slimeball, that thing was amazing. I got so many reactions from it. It helped me in so many ways. Or when you present it, it gets downloaded like, oh yeah, give me that. I need that. I want that. Yes, yes, yes. Your lead magnet should basically be viral within your community. Tangibles for your lead magnet include products for purchase within it. You are here to sell things. They are here to buy things. Offer up ways to do that in your lead magnet. Brief description of who you are and what you do. I am your name. I help these people, ideal client avatar, solve their pain point, which is what? By doing X, Y, and Z, or so that they can do X, Y, and Z. You need to be focused on those solutions so that people can see, oh, she identified me. I'm her ideal client. Yep, you do this. Oh, you're going to help me. And this is what I'm going to experience. Cool. Great. Tell me more, right? It's going to be very clear who you are and what you do. And you're going to start talking about the program that you're going to be pitching. Okay, so you're going to say the name of your program over and over again. You are going to talk about it. You're going to have little snippets of the program in your lead magnet. What that does is it creates program awareness. So I told you guys earlier that I'm going to be opening up the doors to Lead Generation Lab, right? I've probably said that term 5 or 6 times now. I'm saying it because it creates program awareness, right? I said it in the emails I sent to you guys. So I'm talking about the program before I'm actually opening up the doors and pitching you. So talk about the program so that they are aware. Oh, right. That's that thing she said she was going to pitch me to. Okay, cool. That's that thing she talked about earlier. Oh, right. Maybe I should listen to this. Okay, maybe this is something I should consider. Elephant time, ready? I promised you guys that in this webinar, I would help you coach yourselves. Okay, so here are the questions you need to ask yourselves in order to coach yourself. If you do not have a lead magnet set up yet, what and how does my ICA need to hear from me right now? What is that forward-facing problem? Put it in the comments. If you do have a lead magnet, ask yourself this harder question. If they have this pain point, if they need to hear this from me right now, have I actually created this for them? And that could be a hard problem, a hard answer to solve and to get clarity around, but it could be a really powerful one. So ask yourself that question, okay? Put your reflections in the comments. Of course, I would love to hear from you guys. All right, component number 2, leading with a culture of buying. You got to get over the idea that you just want to help people, that you don't want to be salesy, you don't want to be slimebally. I don't believe that any of you are salesy. I don't believe that any of you are slimebally. Okay, you are heart-centered. You're not here for you're here on purpose, right? I believe that we're connected for a reason. So we have to get over that idea that I don't want to be salesy, I don't want to be slimebally. You need to lead with a culture of buying. When people buy from you, that's how they get results. Sharon says, I created a gain time tool, but they really need quick tips for cooperative kids. Love it, Sharon. Yes, great reflection. So instead of gaining time, you're going to switch over to creating more cooperative kids and how they can do that. I love it. All right, so one of the first ways, there's many ways to create a culture of buying inside of a funnel, but my favorite way is a tripwire. You are going to offer up a small offer that your new email subscriber can buy that enhances their experience with your lead magnet. Jill says, my audience wants to learn how to make art to help relieve stress. I love it. They're overwhelmed with where they need to start, and they need supplies, and they need ideas. I need to offer a basic lesson to get them hooked to want to join my monthly membership. I love that, Jill. You could do that live. You could do it recorded. I love it. The tripwire should solve the what's next, okay, or the what's before. Anytime you solve a problem, usually a new one is created. So think about it. Okay, I just lost the 50 pounds that I've been working towards. None of my clothes fit. Okay, so that's the new problem. Then you get to the store and you're trying on your new clothes and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to dress myself. I don't know what to do with my new self. I don't know, like, what do I do here, right? New problems are solved anytime. No, new problems are created anytime a problem is solved. Okay, so the point of your tripwire is to help when they solve that new problem. Yes, to solve when that problem is, to solve the solution, right? It's to solve the problem that the lead magnet solved. There we go. Thank you. So anytime you create a problem, solve a problem, a new one is created. Here's an example. There we go. I teach better by examples. You're a minimalist interior designer, and your focus is that you help moms create a minimalist playroom for their kids. So that your lead magnet is the 5 key places in your playroom that you can organize with a minimalist approach in 5 minutes a day. Okay, very clear. 5 places, 5 minutes a day. Let's do it. That seems easy. It seems like I can control something about my kid's playroom, and it seems like it's not too much of an ask. The what's next tripwire would be, so you set up the playroom. It's awesome. It's working for you. But then you get an influx of toys after holidays, after Christmas, Hanukkah, birthdays, Easter, whatever it is that you celebrate. So how do you process those? What do you do with them, right? Because life happens and your playroom needs to adjust with that. So that's a good what's next tripwire. Now, the what's before tripwire could be getting your family on board with minimalism, because you can want it as much as you want it. You can want it so bad for yourself and for your family. But if you're the only one who does, it's not going to work. So the what's before tripwire is getting your family on board with minimalism. Another way to think about the lead magnet is the lead magnet gives awareness. The tripwire is the implementation. Okay, so the lead magnet is like helping them to understand, okay, you have this pain point. Here's some things to think about. The tripwire is, okay, you got the things to think about. Let's do something about it now. The tripwire's vehicle should be different from the lead magnet. So if the lead magnet is a guide, the tripwire should not be a guide. If the lead magnet is a webinar, the tripwire should not be a webinar. If you have a webinar, that's the lead magnet, maybe your tripwire is a workbook. If you have a guide, maybe the tripwire is a swipe file. Okay, so it's just, they should be different so that they're not like bored with the consumption of the content. Tangibles, tripwire is hosted on your thank you page. It essentially is a short sales page. So it says, hey, your lead magnet, that thing's hanging out in your email. Check that. But before you do, I have this other thing for you. Scroll down. It needs to be obvious that they need to scroll down. Sometimes we don't know that's what we have to do, right? So the content that says scroll down should be above the fold. So the fold is the bottom of the web page, should be above the fold, so that when you do opt in, you don't miss it, right? So there's arrows, GIFs, emojis, something to say scroll down. You need to scroll down. Include a timer to create true scarcity. You can use deadline funnels for this if you want. Now, if you don't want to create scarcity, don't. I think scarcity can be an amazing tool to get people to take action to improve certain parts of their life. So I'm a huge fan of scarcity. But if you're going to introduce scarcity, be truthful in it. So let's say it's 15 minutes. Okay, you have a 15-minute timer. When that expires, they cannot buy it again at that price point, or something expires. Okay, you can offer up your tripwire again. Just stick with the scarcity that you picked. So if you have a workbook that you offer up as a tripwire that's $17, You can offer up that workbook again, but if the scarcity was that the price point is going to expire, it's not $17 again. It's $27 or $37 or whatever you want to do. Make the scarcity true and real. Why is a tripwire so incredibly important? Sorry, I forgot to answer that question. Tripwires are important. Number one, they can pay for your Facebook ads or your Instagram ads or whatever paid advertising you're doing. So if you sell one of them a day, you know I'm going to bring in however much money every day. I can spend that amount of money on paid advertising and break even on my paid advertising. That's what dreams are made of as far as I'm concerned. My goodness. Tripwires also create a culture of buying. So from the very first meeting of you, someone is getting pitched. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd rather have an email list if I'm paying for people to be filled with people who either have bought from me or are not upset about getting pitched to. I remember when I first started my business, I would open up the doors for a program and I'd get people like who were grumpy, who were angry about me pitching them. And it's because they would say things like, I just need you to help me. I don't think you should want money for, the services that you provide. And so as soon as I started introducing Tripwire, those people got less and less. And so it just weeds people out. You don't want to have your list filled with nothing but freebie searchers. That's no good, right? So Tripwires just create that culture of buying. Heather says, now I'm rethinking my lead magnet. Oh, making your lead magnet the Tripwire and creating a new lead magnet. Heather, I like it. I like it. Tell us more. Tell us more. All right, elephant time. 2 questions to ask yourself. What are your conversion rates? So out of the 100 people that opt in to your lead magnets, how many of them are buying the Tripwire? So looking at that number, what does this tell you about the validity of your Tripwire? Or what does this tell you about the marketing of your Tripwire? Sometimes that's the bigger question here. What can you create? So that's if you have a Tripwire lead magnet set up, okay? If you don't, what can I create that increases the user's experience with the lead magnet? How can you create something that gets a better experience for her or him? And from the very first meeting of you, gets results. So that's something to think about. Put your ideas in the comments. I'd love to see what you're thinking about. Component number 3, the welcome email checklist. This seems really simple, but I actually think this is a really important part of the funnel. The first email that your new email subscriber gets from you sets the tone for the relationship. It's like a handshake. So if you get the fishy handshake, right? We all know that, the fishy handshake. You're like, not a good handshake. If you have a nice firm handshake where someone looks you in the eye, you're like, oh, cool, I can talk to her. So it needs to set the tone for your relationship. The lead magnet gets delivered in this email. It used to be back in the day, we delivered the lead magnet on the thank you page. That's not the case anymore. We need to get our people used to hearing from you via email. Otherwise, a funnel is not going to work, right? So that's why we're here. We're here to create a funnel and that works. So the lead magnet, all the most important information gets to them by email. So the lead magnet is in this email. Checklist, got the lead magnet, okay? A non-branded photo of you. I know that you spend a lot of money on the branded photos. I know they're beautiful. I know you like set up the most perfect outfits and you have the most perfect space and you love them. However, they don't belong in your welcome email. Your welcome email is to set the know, like, and trust factor. So if you say you love to go to the ocean and hang out with your kids, selfie of you and the kids in the ocean, right? There you go. If you love to go to the woods and drink craft beer, selfie of you and the kids drinking, not them drinking craft beer, you drinking a beer and them drinking some root beer in the woods. Have a photo of you that speaks volumes about your values. Your one-liner, again, you are your name. You help this person solve this pain point so that they can do X, Y, and Z. I know we did that earlier. We're going to do that again. You have to tell people that over and over and over again. Your one social media outlet, not all the places you hang out, pick one. So if you love the gram, like I do, you're going to send them to Instagram. If you love TikTok, send them to TikTok. If you're a huge Clubhouse person, send them to Clubhouse, okay? The place where you hang out and show up the most. Because what that does, they get emails from you. You're hanging out with them on social. You're basically everywhere to them, which is amazing and awesome. So share your one social media outlet where you want them to connect with you. And then ask them to subscribe to your piece of weekly core content. Your weekly core content is podcast, YouTube channel, blog. If you don't do this, obviously you're not going to have this. But I am a huge fan of having a piece of core content every single week. I think it establishes know, like, and trust really, really well. So if you have a piece of core content, tell them to subscribe to it. You're going to set expectations. So you're going to say something like, I'm going to email you every day for 4 weeks, so that they know I'm going to get emailed every day for 4 weeks. One of the things that people say about email marketing is that it's impersonal because it's automated. And I think one of the reasons why we think that is because we don't set up expectations. We don't set the tone. So tell them, I'm going to email you every day for 4 weeks. Cool. Get excited. I can't wait to learn more about you and where you are and what you're doing. And then you're going to have an invitation for them to respond. And don't have a hit reply and ask me a question. No, say hit reply and tell me about the time that you pushed through fear. I don't know, something. Tell them like something to do. What do you want to hear from them? Elephant time. Ask yourself, what needs to change in your welcome email? What are you missing? Do you need to change something? What part of this will you adopt for your welcome email? What part of this feels in alignment with how you want to show up in the online space? Guys, with all of this, yes, these are recommendations I am making based on what I have seen work in my business and work in my client's business, but it has to actually work for you. So what part of this do you really like? What part of this are you like, yeah, no. So put that in the comments. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Heather says, my lead magnet is a workbook that tells people 5 chemicals in their personal care and cleaning products that they need to avoid and show them how to quickly and easily identify. Okay, that sounds fantastic, Heather. I feel like the person who's downloading that is very interested in a very specific thing. And I feel like that would probably serve them really well. And they're probably in like the earlier stages of finding out those toxic things. Sharon says, once they have cooperative kids, what can they do to enjoy playing with them? Maybe Sharon, or maybe like activities to do with cooperative kids or ways to, I don't know if this is an idea, but like the transitions. I know I have a 3-year-old and transitions are hard. So something like that. Yeah. You're adding it all. I love it, Sharon. All right. Component number 4, created an engagement focused welcome sequence. You are going to, once someone downloads a lead magnet, opens your welcome email, you are going to send 4 to 6 emails of pure value. Okay. You are going to drive them to important pieces of content. Make it easy to consume. So if you are going to email your people every day for 4 to 6 emails, let's say that's the frequency you choose. If you're going to send them to an hour-long podcast every single day, what's the likelihood that they're going to consume that? Probably not wonderful, right? So what if on day number 1, it was like that hour-long podcast? Day number 2, maybe it's a reel. Day number 3, maybe it's like a 5-minute IGTV. Day number 4, maybe Instagram post, so that they have time to actually consume that, right? You're asking them to like absorb content. So keep that in mind with your person, who they are and how they consume content. Make it easy. Make it easy for them to consume. Holly says, make the video on using your products as the tripwire. Oh yeah, in the next. Yeah, Holly, in the next email. I think that sounds really interesting. I could see video being very powerful because they could see you talking about it. And that is, I think video is very powerful. I love it. All right, content in the nurture sequence leads with your program. So you're going to talk about your program over and over and over again. Maybe share like interviews with people who have been in your program. Share why you are the go-to expert in your field. So you have to put on your expert hat and you have to tell them why they should listen to you. What have you achieved? What have your clients achieved? Here are some tips to help them achieve other things. Share with them why they're the go-to expert in your field, your field. And create a habit of clicking. Okay, this is really, really important for component number 5 in order for it to work. If you're not sharing ways for them to click, they're not going anywhere else. And that's normally fine, but with the habit-based portion of a funnel, you have to get them into the habit of clicking. So send them to the blog post, send them to the podcast episode, send them places for them to learn more about you and learn more about what you do. It also makes you appear to be everywhere, right? So if someone like from an email goes to Instagram and then interacts with you on Instagram, Instagram's algorithm is gonna be like, oh yeah, let's like send this person some more of her content because it's really like she likes it. So let's do it, right? So this will again make you seem like you are everywhere to them, which is good and awesome and wonderful. It's leveraging the algorithm, which is a smart way to run your business. Ask yourself, what pieces of content have you already created that make sense for your nurture sequence? The content in that nurture sequence needs to make sense for your pitch. So have you created content around this offer that you have? If you have, great, plug that baby into that funnel. Or what do you need to create? So I know when I sit down and write a funnel, I have this idea, right? I want to bring them on a journey through this nurture sequence. So a lot of times that journey means that I need to create some content. So what is that? Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, all the way up to 6. Now those pieces of content that you're to be creating need to be standalone in case they like miss an email or two. But if they read them all and do them all, it should bring them from point A to point B or point A to point C. So it should bring them on some sort of journey. So thinking about that, what do you need to create? Is there anything that you need to create? Sharon says, expert hat question. What if I don't have testimonials? Great question. Sharon, share your own experience. So I know you're a parenting coach. I was experiencing this with my oldest. This is what I did. These are the results I got. Now, because we chatted earlier this morning, Sharon and I had a coaching call this morning. I know with your youngest is different. So my youngest, I tried this. I'm not getting the same results. So here's what I'm doing to try to get those same results. Here's what I'm considering. Here's a method I'm trying. Here's a way of approaching this. So you're just going to be your own testimonial. Holly says, I have a weekly Facebook Live Babe Cave with Holly. I love it. As my weekly piece of content. But I need to create that tripwire from my lives to build my email list. Yeah. So your lives, Holly, you could promote the lead magnet in them, right? So if you want more on this, like you could take a tidbit out of your lead magnet, a couple of them, and create a couple of live videos, right? So then in all of them, you promote the lead magnet, but you can still send them out in that nurture sequence. That's all like cyclical, right? They already have the lead magnet if they're in your nurture sequence, which is fine. But you're, elaborating on those topics inside of the nurture sequence. Excellent. All right. You guys are giving me some amazing feedback here. Cool. Component number 5. I'm so excited for this one. Okay. Heart-centered sales. Hashtag no sleazy sales. We don't do sleazy. We don't do slimy. We're here to sell if and only someone is open to you selling. Okay. So this is how you do this inside of an email funnel. We don't do sleazy sales. It's a non-negotiable. So how can you, through automation, introduce your offer in a heart-centered, non-sleazy way? You introduce a trigger that gets your email subscriber to raise their digital hand and say, yes, number 1, I have that pain point. Number 2, I actually do want to solve it. Ooh. What does this look like? After your nurture sequence, so you send out those 4 to 6 emails, you then introduce a sequence that prompts your email subscriber to click a link. Now, in your nurture sequence, they've been clicking links, right? You've been talking about clicking links. You've been sending them to pieces of content. This is why this is so important. In this section, I call it a click sequence. In the click sequence, they have to click. They have to click in order to get put into the pitch sequence that opens it up for them. The link that they're clicking is another piece of amazing content that you've created. But this content is what's called a video sales letter, a VSL. Some of you may have heard of this. Some of you may have not. The VSL is a piece of content that gives your email subscriber the juiciest, most results producing information. Like it is like what they need to know. If they don't know anything else from you, from this relationship, this is the one thing they need to know. And then while you're sitting there sharing with them this juicy piece of information, you're going to say, you know what? If you're looking to like really dive deep in this, if you are looking to solve X, Y, and Z, I can do this with you through my program, blah, 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 blah. You transition from the value to the pitch. In this program, we walk through and duh. What we do is we dive deep in this, and this. And I'd love to make you an offer. I'd love to have you enroll in the program. Now for 48 hours, from now until 48 hours out, you have the opportunity to do that. And you go into, what the program is. It's meant to, of course, serve, offer value first, and then be like, you know what, if you want bigger results, like I can totally help you do that. And you open up the program to them. So it's a launch for that individual person, like on their time, okay? So when they click on the email VSL, in that email, that video, that link, they get pulled out of that pitch, out of that sequence and put into a pitch sequence. You can do this inside of most email CRMs, okay? So it's a setting that's set up, they click it, that is the trigger for them to get removed from the click sequence and put into the pitch sequence, which is why that click is very important, right? That's why we establish that click in the nurture sequence. How does this create heart-centered sales? Number one, you pitch only to people who identify having the pain point you solve through your offer and who want to solve it. So that content, again, is the juiciest piece of information. So you say things like in that email, if you want to solve X pain point, watch this video. Okay. Number two, this is kind of the cool thing about this. You're pitching on a schedule that works for your email subscriber. Story. Okay. So let's say the click sequence is like 7 emails. They're spaced out maybe a day or two from each other. Each email in the click sequence is to click the video. And so let's say someone gets put into the click sequence at like midnight on a Thursday. They are taking Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off because it's their kid's birthday and they're having family come in, they're throwing a big party and they're really excited about it. So they're not going to click because they're not in front of their computer during that time. So what happens is they get back to the office on Tuesday and they see an email come up from you and they're like, oh, cool, let's click it. They watch it. And so it opens up the cart because after they click on it, they get put into the pitch sequence. It opens up the cart for them at a time that works for them. So the click is done at them at a time that makes sense for them and when they're actually paying attention. If you have a traditional linear funnel that doesn't have this habit-based portion in it, what could happen is that the pitch sequence starts on Thursday at midnight and it's let's say a 3-day open cart period. They're not in front of their computer. They're getting pitch emails. They have no idea what this program is. It's not done at a time that works for them. And so they get back to their office on Tuesday and they're like, wait, what's this program? Oh, it expired. And then that's weird, right? Nobody likes that. Nobody wants to be that person in the inbox. Nobody wants to be the person who's receiving those emails. It doesn't work. Okay, so you're pitching on a schedule that works for your email subscriber. That's my favorite part of this. And then the other thing is, since they've watched the video, they know what the program is. So it's not like it's out of the blue, right? They've watched it, they've consumed it, they've been like, oh, this might be a program I need to consider. So then you're getting emails and it's helping them to make the decision. It's not like introducing the program. The video already did that. The emails are really easy from here on out. It's just, hey, program's open. I'd love to have you join. Here's the link. Karen's sharing maybe some case studies, testimonials, to help them understand a little bit more about the program. But you're not pitching to someone who has no idea about the program because that doesn't work. Okay? So sales get weird when your email subscriber doesn't know about the program and doesn't have the pain point that your program solves. So when they get that click sequence, if they don't have the pain point, they're not going to click on it. So they'll never get the pitch sequence. And that's wonderful. That's what automation can do for you. Don't make it weird. Hashtag no sleazy sales. Sales can be really easy. They can be really heart-centered. And yes, automation can make that happen for you. All right, ask yourself, how do I like to be pitched and sold to? That could be a driving force for figuring out this system for yourself. Usually, you like to be pitched and sold to in a very similar way your ideal client likes to be pitched and sold to. How can I speed up the decision-making process? So if they're considering the program, yeah, okay, sounds interesting. How can you make it go quicker from, yeah, sounds interesting to, yeah, girl, sign me up. How can that happen? And what's a no-brainer offer bonus discount to incentivize them to take action? So can you offer up some sort of bonus inside of that pitch sequence, a discount? I'm not a huge fan of discounting stuff, but if it's appropriate, does that make sense for you? Okay, so put it into chat. I'd love to hear from you guys. All right, let's recap. Number one, the first component is solving your ICA's forward-facing problem with a killer internet famous lead magnet. Component number two, creating a culture of buying through a tripwire that supports your lead magnets. Number three, creating a firm handshake as that welcome email. Number four, your nurture sequence sets your email subscriber up for the yes, so you're relaying amazing content, establishing yourself as the expert in the room. And then number five, habit-based automation can open up a program for someone who identifies having the pain point that your problem helps with and who wants to solve it. Will you commit to creating a heart-centered, highly profitable email funnel? Put it in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Sharon says yes. I love it. All right. So right now you have three choices. Holly says yes. I love it. You could do nothing. Like you could take this content and you'd be like, not for me. And if that's the conclusion you've come to, I'm really happy that you came to that conclusion. I think indecisiveness does not work. So I'm glad you made the decision not to do it. And that's cool and awesome. And that's great. And I'm very happy for you. Number two thing is you could go at it alone. You could try this by yourself. You will probably see some sort of results. Or you can go number three and you can let me and our amazing community support you. So if that's you, I would love to invite you to join the Lead Generation Lab. So the Lead Generation Lab is the complete step-by-step online membership community for women to automate leads and sales systems in their business. And Lead Generation Lab, it's my goal for our members to set up an automated launch that runs 24/7, 365 in the background to create sales for you every single day. Designed for busy moms by busy moms myself. I'm a very busy person and I know you guys are too. So we don't mess around. High impact revenue producing activities are what we do inside of Lead Generation Lab. The Lead Generation Lab is the simplest, most concise method to scale your business to six figures and beyond. I should say and beyond. So this is basically what we do inside of Lead Generation Lab. There are strangers on the internet who need your help. They've never heard of you before. We develop lead generation strategies that we automate to bring them from strangers on the internet to consistent buyers through consistent scalable revenue that can allow you to help more people. That's what we're here to do, right? We're here to help people. We are not here to kind of help people. Like we're here to make an impact. So like, let's just make an impact, okay? It's about helping you build a business that fits into your life. I am not about that hustle. You'll never hear that from me. I am about working hard. I am about working intentionally. And I am about creating revenue that is scalable for you. So this is like all the different types of businesses we have had inside of Lead Generation Lab. Right now, we have had over 200 members come through the program. And it's been amazing and it's been wonderful. So they've been from a variety of backgrounds. I have a network marketing, a personal training, a health, and a business background. So I do tend to generally attract people like that. But we've had earring designers, we've had authors, speakers, bricks and mortars, chiropractors, personal trainers, all kinds of different businesses. If they have an online component, odds are we've probably had it inside of Lead Generation Lab. Here's what you get inside of Lead Generation Lab. Number one, visibility framework. This is designed to help you assess your platforms and their success for lead generation. The Sell Every Day framework, I just ran you through that. So that is your very first introductory funnel that has the habit-based component. And the goal of it is to help you sell something every single day, whether it's a Tripwire, a program, both. It's there for you. Monthly guest expert trainings. These are basically my colleagues and my friends and the people I network in the online space coming in and sharing their lead generation strategies. And then from there, we take the content that was in that guest expert training and do a live masterclass with me where I go through and talk about how to actually implement. The guest expert trainings are more higher level. The masterclasses are like, let's get some stuff done, y'all. And with that masterclass comes a Trello implementation checklist. So I run you through the checklist on the live masterclass, and then you get access to it with each one of these masterclasses I do every month. Monthly hot seat coaching. This is probably my favorite component. I love this part. We do hot seat coaching calls. So every month we sit down for an hour. Our members come on, they ask questions, they get some coaching. We work through, I think last month we worked through 3 launches. We worked through deliverables for a one-on-one coaching program. We troubleshot someone's webinar, I'm pretty sure. And it's just designed to get you moving and grooving so that you can like stop staying in that like cycle of indecisiveness and make some decisions to get you results. You get quarterly email funnel breakdowns. So every quarter you get a video and the exact word for word emails for funnels. So we have different types of funnels. We have the Sell Every Day framework. We have a waitlist funnel. We have a webinar funnel. We have a summit funnel. We have nurture sequence. So let's say someone doesn't buy during that first initial funnel. What do you do with them? We have that next part of the funnel. Okay. And it's my goal to have you have an entire ecosystem of funnels, marketing funnels that run people through based on habits that they do inside of those funnels. You get a Facebook group. So you can ask questions every single day, and every single day you can get responses if that's how you want to ask for and receive support. The goal that I have for Lead Generation Lab is for you to find the thing that you need most and to get it, and then to find the thing you next need most and to get it. So for some people, it's a Facebook community. For some people, it is the hot seat coaching. For some people, they've never come to either one of those, and that's fine. They find value in other parts of the lab. Again, here's what you get. Visibility framework valued at $500. Sell Every Day framework valued at $1,000. Monthly guest expert trainings, $200 a month. Monthly live masterclasses with me, $200 a month. Trello implementation checklist, $200 a month. Monthly hot seat coaching, $500 a month. Quarterly email funnel breakdowns, these are valued at $1,000 every quarter. Facebook community, $1,000 every month. Total value annually is $30,700. Or $30,700. There we go. Here are some amazing things our members have done. And I love this part. So this is Molly. She never intended to email or to enroll in Lead Generation Lab, had no plan to do it, but she was in a pinch. She needed her Black Friday emails written. And so she was like, I'll enroll in the lab. That's cool. I'll get in, stay in for a month, get all the stuff I need, and then I'll leave. And that's fine. So she wrote out her Black Friday emails in 45 minutes. She made 2 sales while trapped under her toddler. She made $3,000 in one weekend based on these emails. And as soon as I offered it, she upgraded to an annual member because she was like, this thing is awesome and valuable. So these are some screenshots she sent of chats I had with her. Kristen grew her email list by 60% in 2 months. It was paid, yes, and organic traffic. But imagine what you could do if you grew your email list by 60% in 2 months. My goodness, that'd be amazing. Lane sold 14 of her courses through a live webinar. And that was something she hadn't done in 6 years. She had not done a live webinar where she opened up the doors to a course in 6 years. And she sold 14 spots. It's awesome. And now she has a system that can be automated and scaled. And she can get that system going every single day. What's a thriving business work for you or worth to you? I know for me, I ask myself that all the time. Whenever I'm trying to make decisions about something, I'm like, okay, so this will get me what? What is that thing? And then what am I willing to do to get that thing? And so that's the process I walk through. So I wanted to throw that question into here. So again, here's what you get. Total value is $30,700. You can get it today. So you have 2 options when it comes to enrolling in Lead Generation Lab. Number 1 is you can choose to enroll for a year, and you're going to pay $970. There's a pay in full bonus I'll share about in a little bit, and it's worth $900. So worth almost as much as the price you're going to pay for a year's worth of access. A year's worth of support for $970. Okay. You can get started here at AllisonHardy.com. I should have copied and pasted this for you. Wait a second. The link is hanging out there in the chat for you guys. Oh, Sharon says, I'm so glad to be a newbie in your lab. Thank you. I'm so grateful to have these tools. Sharon, I love it. Sharon joined us, I think last month, Sharon, inside of Lead Generation Lab, and we had our first coaching call this morning. So yeah. Okay, so that's option number 1. Option number 2 is you can choose to pay monthly. So you can go month to month. It's a subscription. So you get 12 months, you'll get $97 a month. 12 months of access is $1,164. Okay. You're not going to get that painful bonus, but if you're more of a, let's just test this thing out and see how it goes, the monthly could be a great option for you. Okay. Now, here are your 2 options. 12 months of access, the $970 does give you that pay in full bonus. If you choose the monthly membership, you do lose that pay in full bonus. Just want to be clear and upfront about this, but it's $97 a month. Okay. Now, let's chat about this pay in full bonus. The pay in full bonus will get you 3 one-on-one strategy and implementation calls with me. These are 30 minutes. They are all focused on you and where you're going and where you want to go in your business. They're valued at $900. So you can get access to my calendar. You can go ahead and book them all immediately if that's what you want to do. And you're going to use these 3 calls in the first 3 months of your enrollment inside of Lead Generation Lab. Okay. They're meant to be high impact coaching to get you moving faster. And because I believe in taking and rewarding action takers, as I told you guys in the very beginning, if you decide to enroll in Lead Generation Lab while we're live today, you will get access to the Instagram bundle. These are 3 products. The first 2 are designed to help you create strategic and intentional reels to maximize your visibility. The third product is how you're going to turn those people into buyers through Instagram stories. So it's a vault of highly converting Instagram stories for you to consume and use. Okay. Again, it's $121 value. Anyone who enrolls while we are live, so we have about 10 more minutes or so, you will get access to that. Will already be preloaded into your portal. It'll be ready to go. All right, here's some cool new things to share about our Lead Generation Lab members. Adriana welcomed 5 new members into her high-end membership site. It was live. Now that she's a proven process, she's going to automate that enrollment and that launch system so that she's no longer living launch to launch. And for her, her membership is high end. So like 200, I think at this point it was $250 a month. I think it's gone up since, as it should. So like 5 new members at $250, that's, I don't know, $1,500 maybe, something around there, $1,250, something around there. You can do the math. That's a big deal, right? That's a big deal. It's over $1,000 a month that she's added to her monthly revenue. Okay. Mary, I love this one. So Mary double promoted in her direct sales partnership. So she had to shift gears and neglect the passive income side of her business. So the selling of her own products. But what she did is she poured into her team. And what that did is it rank advanced her. Anyone in network marketing knows how important that team is and their performance is. So it rank advanced her. She's now considered a leader within her company. And now she has the space and the time to create the lead magnet to automate her leads. Some program labs, which I love sharing. These are just some screenshots I got from some of our members loving on the lab. It makes me so incredibly happy to be able to share this because the last thing I want is people enrolling in a program that doesn't really get them results. We are here in the lab to get results. We don't mess around, and we want to help our people to grow their business and scale their business in a way that works for them. So being able to have these sorts of testimonials and these screenshots is so valuable to me. I want to draw your attention to this one. I think that this is really powerful. So she says she spent at least $10,000 in trainings and masterminds, but it hasn't been this concise. She hasn't gotten this concise, direct feedback and strategies as she's gotten inside of Lead Generation Lab. So like we do not mess around. We are here to help you produce revenue and to help you scale your business sooner rather than later. So we're going to deliver you no nonsense, fluff-free content. You're going to take and implement, and you're going to see results. We can't wait to meet you. We'll be welcoming new members in all week. Who is this for? Who's the Lead Generation Lab for? The Lead Generation Lab is for you if you are tired of trading dollars for hours. If you want to operate your business like a CEO. If you want to set up smart systems and automations so that you can have the space to create a thriving business. It's for you if you are willing to get outside of your comfort zone. Because let's be honest, any new growth is going to require you to get outside of your comfort zone. So if you're willing to do that, if you want to create a change, Lead Generation Lab is totally for you. It's not for you if you're not coachable. It's not for you if you're not willing to try new strategies or dive into what it is that you're doing. If you're not willing to try and consider different methods of working, it's not for you if you're looking for a quick fix. Don't get me wrong. I love a quick fix. They're great, but they're not sustainable. You can't build your business on a quick fix. What could you be experiencing in 12 months if you put these strategies in place? If you finally set up that funnel that actually works for you, what sort of growth, what sort of change could you be experiencing? Think about it. It could be pretty massive. A lot of things can change in 12 months. So, what sort of change could you create? Just imagine creating a thriving business that actually fits into your life and not vice versa. Being fully present with your kids, your partner, your family, and your friends, knowing your business is squared away. You're good to go. Business is fine. It's running. It's doing the work for you. Imagine creating massive momentum and impact by selling something every single day. What would that do for you and for your business? What would that do for the world? Think about like, how many people do you work with in a year now? Let's say you work with 30. What if you could work, if you sold something every single day and you could help one person every single day, 365 people? What kind of impact would that create just in the world with those people? They made the change. How would that change things for the impact that you create? Fixed mindset versus growth mindset. I always got to throw a little bit of mindset in because I think it's really important. I know that as you're considering things, programs, the bells are going off, right? No, I can't do that. Oh, it's not for me. Oh, it's not the right timing. Oh, it's so expensive. I get it. I understand it. My goodness. But a fixed mindset says, I can't afford it. I can't do this. I don't have time. What if I fail? A growth mindset, which will serve you so much better, says, how can I afford it? If others can, I can. Her success does not mean that I can't be successful. It means that I can be successful. You can take it at your own pace, right? Some people really go in gangbusters, consuming all the content. Some people consume one a month, and that's okay. What becomes possible if I succeed? I think that's a really powerful question to ask yourself, because if you succeed, what does that mean happens? Even if you don't like fully hit your goals, you at least tried and you probably created some sort of results. So, what happens from those results? So, doors are open. Again, the link right there is in the chat. Here's what's included in your membership: visibility framework, sell everyday framework, monthly guest expert trainings, monthly live masterclass with me, TRELLO implementation checklist, monthly hot seat coaching, quarterly email funnel breakdowns, Facebook community, and the fast action bonus. Again, that's for anyone who enrolls while we are live today. Okay. You can choose the $970 yearly option, which will get you those strategy and implementation calls, the one-on-one calls. You can choose the $97 a month monthly option, which is totally cool and great. But regardless, whichever one you choose, if you decide to enroll while we're live today, you'll get that Instagram bundle, which is really cool. So get started at AllisonHardy.com/lead generation lab webinar live. Okay. Enrollment is open. It's open, guys. Doors are open. Yay. So visit the website. If you have questions, of course, let me know. I'm now going to open up the chat for questions regarding the lab, any of the content that we covered today. So start putting your questions in the chat. I will stay until nobody has any more questions. I got all the time in the world today. So start putting your questions here. I'm going to get a drink and I'll be right back. Okay, I have a private message coming in. What are the topics that are covered each month inside of Lead Generation Lab in those monthly guest expert trainings? Great question. So recently we had email automation training. So we had Angela Tan. She is an automations and tech expert. She helps women set up evergreen launches in their businesses. She came in and did a training on, I think it was 5 or 6. I don't know the exact number. Easy email automations you can implement inside of your funnels. So you can take the concepts that we cover inside of the email funnel breakdowns and take Angela's ideas and plug them in. It was really great training. We had a LinkedIn training for one of my mastermind sisters. If you're interested in LinkedIn, we've had 2 Facebook ads trainings from one of my former coaches and one of my mastermind sisters. They both did like different types of ads to have during your launches. So that was very helpful. It's like, what do you, for the person who, I won't say your name, DM'd me privately, what do you want to learn? Put that in there and then it'll help you better. Someone says, thank you for the webinar. Appreciate the explanation of the email funnel. You are very welcome. Oh, you want to better learn about Instagram stories? Yeah, we have a Instagram stories training. I believe it was December 2019. It was done by Jessica Glover. She was fabulous. So we have that. If you enroll while we're live today, you'll get the vault of Instagram story content. And then there's also one, this isn't directly related to stories, but Tracy Harris, my mastermind mentor, she's out of Australia. Her Instagram handle is Mums with Hustle, if you want to follow her. Her training is all about building a community within Instagram. So she does cover a touch on Instagram stories, but she's, fabulous at building community. My goodness, her entire business is based off of that. So there's that. Yeah. Is there training within LGL to build the email funnel, or will I need to find videos in my email provider? Sharon, I use ConvertKit. So if you're using ConvertKit, then it will be pretty easy for you to do, I would think. Oh, you have MailChimp. Yeah, you'll need to find some videos inside of MailChimp. Yeah. I can't know all of the platforms, unfortunately. I wish I could, but I can't. So yeah, you'll need to find those videos inside of your mail subscriber. But MailChimp is really easy to use. So I am thinking you could probably do it on your own. But yeah, if you have questions, definitely visit their help for sure. The email funnel breakdowns, are they good for network marketing? Yes, they're wonderful for network marketing. I have a network marketing background. That was part of the business that I brought from part-time to full-time before Camden was born. A component of that business was a Beachbody partnership. So yeah, I used email to sell my products. And then I used just word of mouth to build my team. Since I had a personal training background, I had lots of colleagues. So I'd be like, hey girl, you want to do this thing with me? I'm doing it. You want to do it with me? And it was an easy yes. So yeah. So like if you're having a hard time building your team, or if you're having a hard time selling your products, you can also show up to the masterclass. I'm hot seat coaching, and you can show up to the Facebook group and you can ask questions in there too. Yeah, it's really quite helpful. Okay. What are some more? My team is messaging me some. I can see them chatting. Oh, Facebook groups. Yeah. So there's a question about Facebook groups. Do you have any trainings about Facebook groups? Yes. So I used to have a course on Facebook groups. And so one of the trainings, I believe it was March 2020, maybe. I think it was right before coronavirus lockdown. Yeah. I did a training on Facebook groups. So there's a masterclass with me. And then there is a guest expert training, and I just did it that year or that month. Yeah, I think Facebook groups are amazing. I used to have an entire course on them. I since discontinued it, not because I don't believe in it anymore, but it's just not something I want to like sell. So I took all of that content and put it into that training. Yeah. Cool. Okay. I'm not seeing any more questions. If you guys have any, please put them in the chat. I'm taking another sip of water and then I'm going to end the webinar. It's a great question. What if I don't like one of the trainings every month? I don't expect you to like all the trainings. I'll be honest. So the Lead Generation Lab has been around for 2 years. Yeah. So there's 24 guest expert trainings in there. I don't think you're going to like all of them. Some of them aren't going to feel in alignment with how you want to show up. And that's cool. You don't have to consume them, or you don't have to do it. You don't have to implement. What I think is really important, what I find people get the most out of the lab in doing is, okay, I have this thing I'm working on right now. So let's say it's Facebook ads. They're not working all that great. So I'm going to consume the Facebook ads content, and then I'm going to go back and make adjustments. And then they consume, implement, reap the rewards, right? And then they're like, oh, I'm working on a launch. Okay, cool. I need someone to like give me some feedback. So they show up to the hot seat coaching calls. And so you can pick and choose what you want inside of the lab. You can say like, I want to learn this. Cool. I need support around this. Great. I need to implement this thing, but I keep procrastinating on it. Let me find the Trello board for this thing. Cool. Let me implement that. It's meant to pick and choose what you need. We'll have people who like show up to the hot seat coaching for like 3 months, And then they kind of stop showing up, and you'll see them in the Facebook group. And then I'll be like, hey, I haven't heard from this person in a while. And I'll go into the lab and I'll see they consumed all the content regarding this one thing around Instagram, let's say. And I'm like, okay, they're working on an Instagram strategy. Yeah. So like you can pick and choose with what the support that you need right now is. And then remember, the Facebook group and the hot seat coaching is always there to give you actual live feedback. So if you consume the content and you've implemented, but you need more, those are there for you. Yeah. I'm earlier in my business and I don't have a funnel set up. Cool. You get an easy, streamlined way to set up a funnel. Just like, guys, if you already have a funnel set up. So let's say you have a funnel set up, but it's not working. You can take the Sell Everyday framework, which I taught you guys today that I go deeper inside of Lead Generation Lab, and you can take it and adjust your existing funnel to make it perform better for you. What are the future trainings? Man, you guys are very interested in the trainings. I love this. Okay. So today it's July. So August is going to be one of my mastermind sisters, Yale Keone. She is going to be talking about the emails that you send your list outside of a funnel, right? So once someone goes through a funnel, well, where do you send them? It's your newsletter email. So she's going to talk about that. In September, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to do a guest expert training on tripwires. And then the masterclass is going to be tripwire critiques. So there's going to be that. We're going to do a slow funnel training. So self-liquidating offer training. If you guys have seen like the $27 offers on Facebook ads, that's a slow funnel. So what that does, the point of that is to pay for your Facebook ads through a direct buy ad, which can be great. And it has order bumps and one-time offers inside of there to increase the cart value. So we're going to do training on that. I have one of those working right now. It's pretty fun and awesome. That's what we got right now. Those are the things we have lined up now. Yeah. Oh, no, we're going to have another one. Oh my gosh. So I think in Q4, we're going to do something around copywriting and creating like a one-page website with one of my friends, Marisa Corcoran. She is a copywriter. She's a fabulous human being, and you guys will love her. But she, she's big on storytelling. And so how to bring that idea of storytelling into a website and how to create like a one-page website that's really highly effective. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So I think that's all we have in the works right now. Does that answer your question? Cool. Okay, excellent. Any other questions, guys? Take another step. Thanks, Sharon. Sharon says, I love your enthusiasm. Thank you. All right, guys, I think we're good. I'm not seeing any more little bubbles coming up that are typing. My team says they don't have anything else. All right, guys, I'm going to end it. If you have any questions, please, you guys are going to get emails from me about the open doors for Lead Generation Lab. If you have questions, just hit reply to any of the emails. I am a human. I will talk to you. I'm not about to not talk to you. So just let me know. And I'm here for you. All right. For those of you who have enrolled while you were live today, I've seen a couple of things pop up. Welcome to the lab. I'm so excited to have you. Have a wonderful day, guys. Have a great afternoon. Happy Monday. Talk to you later.